welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling a universal struggle, trying to decipher guys who are, frankly, incredibly hard to read. You know, human emotions can feel like a giant maze. Honestly, sometimes trying to figure out a guy's true feelings, it's like trying to translate a completely different language, blindfolded. But hey, fear not. We're going to break down the psychology behind attraction and give you the actual tools to finally decode those mysteries.
So let me ask you this. Has a guy ever confessed he had a massive crush on you and you literally had zero clue? No way, right? Or maybe you've got this close guy friend and everyone around you insists he's into you, but you are absolutely convinced he just sees you as one of the guys. Or what about that special someone you're crushing on, but you just can't seem to get a read on him? If you're nodding your head right now, trust me, you are absolutely not alone. Mixed signals are so confusing. But here's the thing. Guys actually leave a whole trail of psychological breadcrumbs when they're interesting. Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today. We're looking at attraction in 3 distinct layers. First, subconscious physical signals. Next, the evolutionary instinct. And finally, emotional and verbal focus.
Let's kick things off with layer number 1, subconscious physical signals. Listen, long before a guy even finds the right words to tell you he likes you, his body is already doing the talking. Psychology tells us a major sign of this is mirroring. It's exactly what it sounds like. If you lean in, he leans in. You take a sip of their coffee, he takes a sip of his. It's basically his brain's subtle way of trying to align with you. And hey, pay really close attention to mutual eye contact. Does he hold your gaze just a split second longer than normal? That's a huge tell. Oh, and look out for sudden grooming too. Like if he instantly fixes his hair or adjusts his color the second you walk in, yeah, his nervous system is definitely reacting to you. And this brilliantly illustrates the shift. When a casual friendship turns into genuine attraction, that physical space between you starts to just magically shrink. Instead of keeping a normal, polite distance, does he lean in a bit closer when you're chatting? If he's the outgoing type, he's probably going to text you a bunch and constantly invite you to hang out. But if he's more on the shy side, this might just look like him constantly trying to accidentally bump into you, secretly hoping it leads to something more. Moving right along to layer 2. The evolutionary instinct. This is where biological hardwiring completely takes over his deliberate behavior. As this quote on evolutionary psychology theories points out, we subconsciously want to appear as our best, most desirable selves to entice a romantic partner. I know, it sounds a little cliche, but a guy will literally try to puff up his chest. Is he suddenly trying way harder to be funny? Lifting unexpectedly heavy objects out of nowhere? Or maybe showing off some random hidden talent the exact second you walk into the room? That is his evolutionary instinct kicking into high gear. He's just trying to prove he's a worthy catch. That same biological drive also fuels what we call the protective instinct. You might start noticing him acting way more protective of you compared to anyone else in the group. Think about it. Does he naturally maneuver himself to walk on the street side of the sidewalk? Or if you guys are in a crowded, chaotic room, does he kind of just gravitate to your side to make sure you're okay? This right here is a massive, totally subconscious sign that he deeply values your safety and your presence. All right, bringing us to our third and final layer, emotional and verbal focus. Now, what's really interesting here is how his subconscious biology translates into super focused, deliberate attention. Think back to your recent conversations with him. Has he completely stopped mentioning other girls around you? Yeah, he's probably making sure you know he is 100% available. He'll also start asking some pretty personal questions, mainly because he genuinely wants to know your relationship status, and he's actually listening to your answers. On top of that, he's constantly trying to make you smile. Whether that's cracking silly jokes, playful teasing, or just giving you thoughtful little gifts out of the blue, he just wants to put you in a good mood. Okay, if you really want to put this to the test, you've got to compare his baseline behavior. Just watch how he acts in a normal group setting with his buddies. Then, watch what happens the exact moment he interacts with you. Does he magically perk up? Does his whole mood shift into this noticeably brighter direction the second you start talking? If he is definitively happier and always cheerful around you in particular, well, that contrast right there is your absolute biggest clue. So, what does this all mean for us? Well, attraction isn't just one isolated action. It's a whole journey. We're talking everything from subconscious mirroring and prolonged eye contact to those hardwired protective instincts, right down to how intently he tries to make you laugh. By reading these layers, you can absolutely decode the mystery. So I'll leave you with this final thought.